let's start that over. And Bert brought up a good point. We just want to ask, how do Jon and I basically integrate into this dynamic?
So Mike and I met through a mutual friend of ours that also went to Mass Art, but years before Mike went there.
Many years.
And that friend of ours, Corey Tsarchuk, she was like my mentor. She was the person that helped me get into the film industry. And I met her when I was in high school. I made this fucking very ambitious short film in high school. She saw something in it and got me involved in some film program in the New York City Parks Department. And I worked with her over the summer in college. And then when I graduated, I was looking to freelance. And she had met Mike at some point. And then she said that Mike and I should actually work together. She was like, you and Mike should just link up. You guys should just figure out how to work together. And I remember being a PA on a really terrible reality show, of course.
Sounds pretty standard for a reality
and
show.
Mike was already
it wasn't a reality show.
Mike was already like gripping or gaffing on something else, and I was working on a feature as a PA, as a key PA. No, I was a fucking trash PA on an indie film, which is the worst of the worst. And Mike called me and was like, "Yo,
wait, is there a role that's called trash PA?
Yes, there is.
I'm sorry.
It's called.
Because I had it.
It's called locations.
That is like, I want to just say thank you to all the trash PAs because that is a tough.
First of all,
fucking
I want to
job.
thank all the PAs that have ever worked on anything. Like when I worked as a PA and I
Cheers,
worked up
PAs.
as a key PA.
Cheers to the PA. They make it happen.
Like I wouldn't ask a PA to do anything that I wouldn't do myself because I knew what it was like to be in that position. Then I worked on this terrible indie fucking film, and they hired me to be like the PA that managed this truck. I had to we were filming in this hospital on Roosevelt Island, and I had to manage the trash on set. There was
Damn.
it was the worst
Mike.
of the worst.
I might have been on this movie when you were a PA.
No, fuck you. I would have met you if you were on it.
What was this movie?
Fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
It's fine. It probably didn't
No,
matter.
I'm just
It didn't matter.
Honestly,
because
like it doesn't matter what the name of your indie
What
movie
I do
is. No
know
one's
from
gonna
that
watch
movie
it.
is the Steadicam op on that movie was also the Steadicam op on Dirty Dancing.
Damn.
That's all I know. Because
Damn,
and I only know this because when we went to the rap party, they played that song and he was like, "Oh, this is like PTSD for me." Like,
I bet
I can't hear the song.
I bet John ran to him and tried to jump into his arms to see if he lifted him up.
I didn't. But anyway, I was on this shoot and I was hating myself, and Mike called me and he was like, "Hey man, I got this job. I need a grip. It's to pay $600 a day. Are you on or like you off?" And I was like, I'm like booked in this fucking PA job. Like I can't jump off. Like I gotta find someone to pay. He's like, anyway, call me back. Like let me know if you want to do this. And I couldn't take the job, but then Jenny's
$600 a day.
$600 a day
Jesus Christ.
I remember these calls. 'cause
And this was like 2012.
versus $200 a day.
Mike used to call me and say, "Hey, you're getting paid $500. 200 of it goes towards our bar tab tonight." I know these calls very well.
But I mean, giving John credit here. I mean, I want to know what happens next because you're a very honorable guy. So I would assume that you were sticking to the job unless you found a replacement for you.
I couldn't do the fucking job because I couldn't find someone to replace me. But then later on, Mike and I worked together on Jenny Zagrino's film because I told him about
This is a
Trop Film
bagel
Fest.
film?
Huh?
This is a bagel film?
It was the bagel movie.
Loving around.
So there was a film festival at the time where like you had to make a short and you had to use the word bagel. So I remember I reached out to Mike and it was like, "Hey, like do you know anyone that could write something about this? You know, just use bagel." He reached out to Jenny. Jenny wrote a script about a bagel movie, and then you were the DP. I directed it. Jenny was the writer on it, and we hired a bunch of people to work on it, and that was the first thing we worked on together. We got through it. Bert was the grip on it.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there. But
And you remember because you set up a light to point at the glass.
Bert and bagels.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was definitely Bert.
Bert was there until shit messed up, and then
that was
Bert
the
wasn't
time
there.
I learned that a 2K
Open.
open face has to be a certain distance away from a piece of glass. Otherwise, it's going to spider the glass.
It was cold outside. It wasn't my fault.
I love Bert's enthusiasm. Like he was there until shit fucked up. He was like, I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
It's true because I remember all of this happening. I didn't realize that was your first project.
That was our first project together.
That's
and
sick.
after
And then,
that,
yeah, go ahead.
we decided to start a production company.
Do you guys remember
That's,
that?
Danger Works.
Wait, do you guys remember when we shot in Fort Greene Park, and my friend Jason drove
power
us?
steering?
He didn't have power steering in his car. It was a car that he converted from an automatic to a manual.
And then it got towed.
And then we all three of us, we had 3 cars, I think,
Yeah.
and we all were like driving to Fort Greene Park, and for this never happens in New York. We're like, whoa, there's 3 spots right in front of Fort Greene Park. So we all park 1, 2, 3 right in front of Fort Greene Park, and we're like, that was amazing. What a lucky day we're having. And then we go into Fort Greene Park and we shoot the thing, and then we come back out, all 3 cars towed. Straight up. No fucking care. NYC to the tow pound.
I was gonna say, if you talk,
No, you can't park
but
there
if
on
you
school
talk,
days.
if you talk to any New Yorker and you tell them there's 3 fucking spots back to
Yeah.
back, they'll laugh at you and be like, "Fuck you,
That's
you're
what I-
definitely
that's
getting
what I
towed."
learned.
That's what's funny because I'm a New Yorker, and I was in disbelief of the fact that we found 3 spots, but I was also like in director mode. I wasn't like in producer mode. So
Also,
we went in, we
Jason's
shoot,
a fucking New York. Jason
Yeah.
drives in
Yeah.
New York all the fucking time.
and then we came back and the cars were gone. So Jason is losing his mind. Jenny's losing his mind because both their cars were towed. And Mike is like in full producer mode at that point. He's like, everybody needs to shut the fuck up. We need to get in a cab.
Yeah.
We're going to the next location and we're finishing this fucking movie.
Back when you
Jenny,
used to call
I'm
black
sorry.
cars, not
Yeah.
Ubers.
Jenny, I'm sorry, but we're moving on to the next scene. And like, we drove to the next place because at that point it was like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But you're already gonna have to pay the fucking ticket and the fine.
exactly.
It doesn't
Fuck
matter.
it.
Might as well
Regardless,
fucking go with
there
it.
was-
Get the movie done.
Yeah.
we didn't know
The sun's
where.
going down. You got to get
Yeah,
Get
we
it
gotta
done,
Get
get
the
it
next
done.
shot. So we moved
Get
on
it
and
done.
got the next thing. And Mike was in Fulton. He like threw us in a cab. We go to the next thing. We shoot it. And then by that point, like, it wouldn't have mattered because the tow pound was closed.
That's when. That's
Yes.
when.
And it was a Friday.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
when John knew that he wanted to partner up with Mike and work on a set. Like, this is the moment I want to start a production company called Danger Works with this guy right here.
In my defense, my car wasn't the car that got towed.
Neither was mine.
Keep it moving.
I just remember Mike, I was holding a camera, got really angry. He was like, everyone needs to get in this fucking cab. And we need to go
Sounds about right.
now.
That's about right.
Absolutely.
Bert's like, yeah, can't
cool.
attest to Freno getting angry.
That's when I used to take the megabus down to New York.
Yeah.
Stephen,
I would
Shit.
live tweet my megabus trips. Hashtag megabus road trip.
Yep. Wow.
Stephen, how did you get involved?
I mean, my story is definitely not as exciting as that story. That shit just like fucking write novels about that. My story is basically that my girlfriend knows Jonathan as writing partners, and I met Jonathan, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And like, I was like, "Yo, this guy's coming out of nowhere.
Who's this dude you're friends
Who's this
with?"
fucking guy you're friends with?" Which is totally okay, totally fine, obviously. And I met John, and like, John's like just like real chill and quiet. He's the type of guy that if I work on a production, you definitely want John on set because John's just like keeps it chill, keeps it cool, gets the job done. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's the guy I want to work with. And I met John, and John and I hit it off pretty quickly. Like, we were chill. We hung out a couple times. We met up in like, you know, Washington Heights when we were in New York at that time, and actually chilled and, you know, had a couple drinks and walked around New York City during COVID. And so I guess we solidified our friendship and our partnership when like I just started working with you and you introduced me to Mike, and I was like, who's this guy now? And I'm just like meeting new people. I'm like, who's this guy? And I'm like, I met Mike, and Mike's just like a mirror of Jonathan when it comes to the chill factor.
Mirror as in what? Like the opposite of a mirror? Or like,
No. Like, I think you guys are the same.
Oh my god.
No, this is what I think is funny. Is I think you guys are the same, except like Jonathan will think something that Mike would say out loud, like, shut the fuck up, let's move forward, let's get it done. And like, as Mike is saying this, you feel like John's reading the Bible. He's just like, yeah. He's just in the back like, yep, that's what we need to do, praise the Lord. Like, that's what we gotta do. Like,
generally, I'll say like, if you want to know the difference between me and John, it's like, This happened recently. It was like we were doing a shoot for a client, and the client's like, we want to do this, blah, blah, blah. We want to shoot this thing next week, blah, blah, blah. And like John's like, that's cool. You can pay us after the shoot, no problem. I immediately chime in and I'm like, we need 50% before we even step in the fucking door. And that is like the difference between me and John.
Yeah. And then, and then after,
I didn't talk
after
in that email chain once until that moment happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Money involved, Mike steps in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then after working on that, and then, we worked on a couple of stuff together, the three of us. And then I remember one time we were in the car. It was just me and Mike, I think, at that time. And he had told me that he was one of the creators of ShittyRigs. And I was like, oh shit, like that's amazing. I was like, we should totally do something with that. I was like, we should totally expand on that more, because like you guys build such an amazing followers and like a genuine community that I feel like is super cool. Like they're all empty. That the empty drink means that we're pretty much done.
Yeah, we're done.
So like, so basically that connected us all together, which really brought us to this next level that I think we're bringing now to you guys.
Stephen was incredibly influential because we used to have merch.
Intrusive.
No. So you got to realize that like ShittyRigs was me and Bert.
Yeah.
Right. We're both working. We used to have merch together, and it was a fucking pain in the butt because none of us have the patience to do that. Like we just don't. Sorry.
You want this shipped where?
Yeah.
How much does that cost? Fuck you.
It's so annoying. And like Stephen comes into my life and he's like, hey, I want to help you with ShittyRigs. And I look at him and I go, all right, make the merch store work. And then, and Stephen is the most fucking can-do motherfucker ever. And like he sees a wall and he's like, I bet I can make a door out of that wall. And like I'm just like, no, fuck that wall. Like blow that wall up. Like nothing matters anymore. Yeah. And he made the merch store happen. So everything that is in the merch store, all the functionality of that merch store, all the fucking time and effort he put into making sure the products are good, everything like that, that is all fucking Stephen, and that's where Stephen came into.
I appreciate that, guys, and I mean, thank you so much. And I want to add, definitely, if you guys feel like anything is not up to par, because I mean, our name is ShittyRigs, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get shitty shit. So let us know. Reach out to us, info@shittyrigs.com. We're on it, and we'll like definitely keep it up, keep some good shit going.
Yeah, I think my favorite comment is like when people actually get like a hoodie.
Yeah.
And they're like, surprisingly not shitty.
yeah. Surprisingly not. I mean, I think one of my favorite stories between the merch store, me and Mike, is when we decided to create that shirt right there that Bert is wearing, the 3/4 shirt tee, the baseball tee. And I'm telling Mike, like, this is going to be such a good fucking shirt. Mike's like, I don't fucking believe it. It's not going to sell. It's not going to sell. I was like, dude, it was like our #1 seller for like 2 months straight.
Like 10 baseball tees.
Yeah.
First fucking orders. Yeah, and I was just like, who the fuck are these people?
And
then Bert comes by and he goes, oh, baseball tee? Fucking yeah. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
So I knew Mike from college. Apparently, I met Agua on the fucking first show they've done together. I didn't realize that.
Was that on the Bagel movie? I feel like we met before that.
No, you guys met on the Bagel movie.
If that was the first time you worked together, that's when I met you.
Yeah.
And then I met Stefan as the ShittyRigs intern that made shit happen.
But he comes into fucking studio and tells me I'm the ShittyRigs intern. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, I have no idea who you are. Let I know he's one of the founders of ShittyRigs. And I'm like, I'm a fucking intern in this shit right now?
It's same way both ways.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
That's exactly. That's exactly what it is. But I mean, I think what's funny is that I love Bert. Like, I mean, like, I love all these guys and they're all fucking get on me for it. But I think like that's what's really cool is that like, what really brings me to these guys is that every time I've ever worked with you guys on set, I've known that it's like just a level of trust that's like, you're going to get the job done. Like, I'm going to be like, or Mike or someone's going to be like, this is what we need to happen. Cool. Don't worry about it. Bert's got it. Like, to fucking turn around, forget about it. And next thing you know, it's there. You don't have to micromanage people. And that's what's important in this industry is that you work with each other so you don't have to micromanage people.
I love you guys.
I fucking love you guys. All right, so I mean that's pretty much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, that's
for
pretty much our
watching
wrap
Bert
right
Drinks.
there.
This has been
We
a
appreciate
great
you
We're out
guys.
of here. We got to end the
Stay
show.
tuned. Sign up for Patreon. Be a patron if you want to see
That's
more
right.
shit like this, more shitty shit, more emotional shit from Mike and Bert and stuff.
Mostly
Lots
this
of
guy right
emotion.
here. I'll bring the love back
Thanks for
into
tuning
it.
in, y'all.
See you guys next time. Peace. It's your camera.
Sorry, Alan. I didn't mean to throw that at you.
All right,